So, right, in one of my recent cold calling videos, I said that I was going to put out a video for you on writing emails. And I think this is quite important because when you have face-to-face interaction, you have body language to help convey a message. When you're on the phone, you have your tone to help convey the message. But when you're on email, you don't have either of those, and you have probably the weakest form of communication, which is words only. So I think it's really important how you construct these emails, and because of that, I've put 5 tips together that I think will really help you. My first tip: do your research. It doesn't take much these days to very quickly check who you're actually writing to. A tailored email is good, but a great email is one where it's absolutely evident in that email that you've taken the time out to learn who they actually are. I'll give you an example. You may write something like, I've worked with a number of partners in your industry, so I am familiar, ... Now there, it shows that you've had a look at who they are, the industry they're in and everything else, so it's not just a generic blanket email that you've sent out to everybody else. It does make a difference to the person who's reading it. You might put something like, I saw on your last LinkedIn post, ... and I really liked it, so I wanted to speak to you a little bit more about this. So, again, what you're showing is an interest in them and what they do. That really does, again, people like talking about themselves, we all know that, so if you make it about them, they're more likely to want to read it. So make sure that you do your research and that it's evident in your email. So number 2, put the bottom line at the top. Time is precious for us all, and unless there's an immediate message in your email, people are more likely to just delete it after a quick scan of the first few lines. So structure it in such a way that you say what you are writing right at the top. Then add what value you could add in the middle, and then finish with them again. A little bit like a them sandwich. So for example, I might write something from my point of view, from my business, such as, I just looked at your website, and as an investor in people, I thought I should check if you already have any bespoke sales training decided for this year. Then I'm going to talk about me. Wise Me Up specializes in this area. Then I'm going to go back to them. So before I go on too much about my company, I just wondered if we could have a good conversation where I could learn a little bit more about you and see if I can add value to your current growth plans. So emphasis being on them. All right. So put the bottom line at the top. Number 3, less is more. Less words makes an email easier to read. If an email looks like it's too long, it'll get missed or maybe put to one side. Emails will be put to one side. Long emails get put to one side because they can be read later when the person has more time. But hey, let's face it, who has more time to read it later? So the likelihood is it's just going to get deleted later. All right. Now, the other thing is less fluff. Make it less fluffy, because fluff can dilute a message and sometimes it can also sound a little too sycophantic. Less jargon makes an email so much more comprehensive. Give you an example. Recently I had a Zoom call with somebody, and when I asked them what they do, they literally gave me a string of long buzzwords, which if I wrote them down and put them together in a sentence, wouldn't actually tell me what that person does. It's just literally a string of buzzwords. Jargon does not do anything unless it's in the right context, and maybe one buzzword or 2 buzzwords, but a string of them, it's tiring. Okay, less attachments. Put less attachments on. The objective, or the whole point of sending an email is to get them interested in talking to you so you can do the selling. You don't want your attached information to do the selling for you, because all they'll do then is read it and come back to you and tell you whether they want to talk to you or not based on that information. But you can't do that. You want to sell them the right solution, not sell them a generic brochure so they can make that decision for you. Okay? So number 3, less is more. Okay, number 4, stand out. Would you read your emails? There are so many emails sent every day, so think a little bit outside the box if you want people to read yours. It's very easy for recipients to see a subject line, assume what you want, and then delete it just on that basis. If, however, you are a little bit more, let's say, honest, direct and open and tailored with your subject line, the recipient might find that they want to read it. For example, I've actually put something along the lines of, sorry, I missed you on the phone earlier. I put that in the subject line, why not? it'll get them interested, won't it? Think about it. What, you called me? Okay, let's see what it's about. And then they'll read. And then I've put the bottom line at the top, etc., etc. So I might put something along the lines of, please can I have your thoughts on this? Again, it's engaging them, getting them to read it so that they know what I'm talking about. I once sent an email with the subject line, have you ever tried this? And one person came back to me and said, I wish you'd just put sales training in the subject line. And I said, well, would you have got back to me if I did? He said, I'm not sure. So I said, well, then it did the job, right? And we had a great discussion after that. Okay, so number 4, stand out. Number 5, keep control. Don't leave your email so that they have control of the response. You should always tell them that you will follow up unless you hear from them first. It's not a threat, just a polite way of saying that you really do need to know either way, so that you can qualify your position or their position and manage your contact with them going forward. An example I guess I've used and would use is something along the lines of, thanks for reading this. I've diarised to call you in the next couple of days, but if you respond to this email with a steer on when it would be best to contact you, that would really help. Thank you. All right? Okay, so those are my 5 tips. Number 1, do your research so that you can tailor the email so it's about them and not you. Number 2, put the bottom line at the top, structure it so that it's a them sandwich. It's about them, then it's you, then it's them. Right at the top about them, saying why are you contacting them. Okay, make it really, really clear. Number 3, less is more. Less is more. The less crap you put into an email, the more likely it's going to be read. Number 4, stand out. Just put something in the subject line that you think will engage them and make them want to read further. It's a little bit like that intro line you get on articles. It makes you want to carry on reading. And number 5, keep control. Put at the end of your email that you are going to contact them, you are going to follow them up. Just give them a chance to come back to you and say, yes, but I'm not going to be in at this time, or fine, follow up, and if they don't respond, you follow up, right? Simple. Okay, so I hope these have really helped, because again, I think it's important. You don't have the body language, you don't have the tone. On emails, it's just the words. So let's construct these words in such a way that it gets you the response that you're looking for. Good luck, stay safe, speak to you soon.